Chapter 12 Star's Journey Home. As the mist cleared once again, there was a vision of early morning on a cool, wet day. She watched as the animal healer walked through her favorite little park. Willow was told by Hawk that the healer knew that today was the day that she would be present as her little dog friend, Star, would pass to spirit. It weighed heavy on her heart. She would miss Star. As she contemplated the thought, she heard the words, "A new life awaits," and she knew this would be true for her little friend. The rainy morning turned into a late afternoon full of sun that shone brightly in the sky. Star sat on the animal doctor's examination table. She sat very still as her leg was shaved in preparation for the injection that would end her physical life as we know it. The animal healer gave Star a kiss on her wet nose and quietly started to cry. She looked into Star's eyes and she heard Star say, a very clear and confident, "It's okay." As the animal doctor proceeded with the task at hand, Star's human companion held her lovingly. The animal healer took a permanent position standing directly in front of Star so she could look directly and deeply into her eyes. Star did not take her gaze away from the animal healer. Their eyes were locked as one. The animal healer was remembering what her good friend had told her earlier that day. Be brave. Make sure the last thing she sees is you smiling. Crossing the rainbow bridge is often the only form of healing that is possible, and in this case it was so. Although the tears streamed down the animal healer's cheeks, and with the biggest smile she could muster, she whispered to Star, saying, "We all love you, sweetie. You are a very special, sweet girl, and you are so brave. You are a very beautiful girl, and we thank you for everything you have taught us." Star did not bat an eyelash as she continued to stare into the animal healer's eyes until her little body slowly slumped onto the table. What Willow saw in the depths of Star's beautiful dark brown eyes was strength, peace, and knowing that it was okay, serenity, total commitment, conviction, and contentment. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that little Star girl was ready to continue her journey. It was over. Star's human and the animal healer were left, stroking Star's soft coat. They encouraged Star's dog companion, Bullet, to sniff her to confirm her transition, as this would help with Bullet's healing. They each gave Star a kiss on the top of the head, and the animal healer told her once again that they all loved her. As the animal healer proceeded to leave the room, she again softly petted Star on the top of her head and whispered to her, "With God's speed." Walking to the door and taking one last look over her shoulder before closing the door behind her, she saw an empty room except for the animal doctor who had been so comforting to them all. She was wrapping Star in the very fitting rainbow-colored blanket that she had been sitting on, and then picked her up in her arms ever so gently. Willow would never forget what she saw in those eyes. It was something she had never before experienced, and now it was very obvious why the animal healer had been invited to take part in Star's crossing. The animal healer and Willow had both learned a valuable lesson from Star: the huge importance of listening to and the honoring of all animals at this stage of their being, witnessing their strength and the knowingness they exude, but above all, feeling their absolute connection with the divine. That night the animal healer lay in her bed thinking about Star. Willow saw that the woman was feeling a strong urge to get up. She did so and went over to the window, peeked through it, and looked up into the night sky. There, straight ahead of her, appeared a lone star. Tonight it was the most important star in the night sky. The woman knew Star had crossed the rainbow bridge, and she had arrived home safely. Willow's heart had been touched, and a tear rolled down her cheek as the story seemed to end. But once again the mist cleared to reveal more. The animal healer reappeared, and Willow saw immediately that she was communicating telepathically with Star. Willow was able to recognize this from what she had learned previously. Willow listened carefully and watched very closely as she was being taken back a few days prior to Star's passing. The animal healer had connected telepathically with Star to find out the correct day for Star to transition. Star told her it would be Tuesday, which it was. At that time, she asked Star if she would like a ritual performed in honor of her transition. Star began to show her the following images. Star asked the rituals to begin at dinner, the evening before the day she was to transition to spirit. Her human was told that candlelight and a dozen red roses were in order as Star sat on a chair at the dining room table eating a meal of baked pork chops. Star asked for a special ritual to be done at the animal doctor's office. All of the requested items were laid out. The white candle had been lit, and the single red rose and feathers were placed close by. Star asked that her companion's friend, the animal healer, both be present. But there was more. The animal healer had 3 companion friends that lived with her, and they each conveyed that something of theirs be present during the transition. The animal healer's horse, Sugar, which Willow knew from the horse healing chamber, had sent a lock of her long white flowing tail, and her 2 very energy-aware cats, Jazz and Tango, had sent one of their favorite toys. Star's companion was asked to read a special prayer during the transition. Star's dog friend and housemate, Bullet, stayed close as it was important for him to do so. Star asked that the animal healer use a hawk feather when the time was right to assist with the rising of her spirit from her physical body, and so it was. As Star's physical body began to slump to the table, the animal healer whisked the feather around her body a number of times in a spiral motion. Higher and higher went the spiral until all had been released. Willow thought how interesting it was that the animal healer was using a hawk feather. Star had also asked for a poem to be read, and after the reading she asked that the animal healer chime the Tibetan Tingsha's sacred brass chimes 3 times as a blessing of the transition to spirit. It was so. Star asked that one more thing be done once her remains had been returned to her human companion. She asked that her remains be placed on a bed of scattered red rose petals under her favorite tree. Once done, she requested that her human sing to her the song, "When You Wish Upon a Star." Willow noted that all of the above had been carried out as Star had requested, and it was truly a sight of beauty. With all requests met, she saw that Star had cleared to spirit quickly and smoothly. She also noted that intense healing was taking place for Star's human companion and all those involved. Willow learned from this that animals, when given the opportunity, will tell you what ritual they would like, and she could now see the importance of fulfilling these requests. Hawk had explained that the rituals are used to honor the animal that is transitioning, but they are also used for the healing of the animal's human companion who is left behind in a state of grief. Willow already knew that animals teach us very much, and they are our greatest healers. Hawk went on to tell Willow that when animals are born, they intuitively know who they are and why they are here, whereas humans need to learn who they are and why they are here. Willow told Hawk that people are very lucky to have animals to guide and care for them. She also thought that it had not been a coincidence that the dog named Star was the one she had learned so much from. She thought about the tiny golden stars with great healing powers that the magical white horse had brought her from the Devas. Willow wept from the love and the beauty she felt within her soul.